we back with another one. You see, most of the time, I just skim through the fucking article, or if it's a video, I just kind of skim through a few of them, see the pics, right? But I saw this title, and I knew it was gonna be great. Like, I kind of figured it was either gonna be all Guinea or just completely wrong. And honestly, I kind of wish it was the first option, because oh my god, this list is fucking terrible. I actually watched this motherfucker twice today. Like, I seen it the first time. When I seen it, I was like, oh, I had that thought, and I was like, I'm gonna watch the whole thing and make sure. I watched it, and it was so fucking terrible that I went and rewatched it just to laugh at it. And honestly, being that I've seen it twice, I don't know if they did this on purpose and they just trolling, or they just want the controversy, or like well, I don't know what's the motive behind it. And in all honesty, I kind of hope that's why they did this, because if they actually think that they spitting facts in these articles, oh boy. But let's just jump into it and honestly.
Madara returned in Boruto. In honor of Marvel's What If, I have a what if for you. What if Madara returned in Boruto, fully revived?
Okay, so if we're talking about a live Madara, he gets dogged by like anybody who isn't one of the Guinea. Well, I ain't gonna say anybody, but damn near anybody that isn't a Guinea. Shade to the Six Paths still gets dogged on by a lot of people in Boruto, and I'm not even referring to Otsutsuki.
As the Ten Tails Jinchuriki. It'd be insane, right? Good thing it would never happen, because this kind of what if would be a worst case scenario for the world
No, it wouldn't.
of Boruto.
No, it wouldn't.
We all know that his exit from Shippuden was a bit lazy, forcing his leave before he finished what he started. Also, if we're being honest here, no one actually beat him. Naruto and Sasuke included.
That's not true. Naruto and Sasuke both dogged on him badly. And then he came back with a new power up. Like, Naruto one shot the nigga so bad that he had to absorb something just to come back. So right there, he already lost. Then they proceeded to beat his ass more, and Sasuke cut him in half, making him run away to get another power up, in which he finally actually stood a chance. Like, he boxed him up a little bit, then he dropped the planetary devastation, the little meteors and shit, and they had to blow him up, and he cast the infinite Tsukuyomi, and then got fucked over before he could actually fight. So that much I agree with. But it being a worst case scenario is just wrong, because in all honesty, he doesn't even scale to a heavily suppressed Kaguya.
So if he did return, would anyone actually stand a chance in the next generation of
A lot of people would.
ninja? Let's find out. Boruto Uzumaki seems like he's a bit of a prodigy in comparison.
Okay. This is a weird one. I'm gonna take multiple versions of Boruto. Beginning Boruto gets washed. I don't care. The Boruto that fought Momoshiki would one-shot Madara. Like, that was amped by Naruto's chakra with the giant Rasengan. He would one-shot Madara. And then we go to fucking Karma Seal Boruto. I think Karma Seal Boruto would impress Madara, but he would ultimately lose. And if we're talking about Borishiki, I'm gonna have to place my money on Borishiki.
Into his old man. He was able to learn and use the Rasengan in mere days. Also, he accomplished something that even Kakashi and the 4th Hokage struggled to do. He unintentionally added lightning release to the jutsu, creating his own version called the Vanishing Rasengan. He defeated Momoshiki, Boro, and with his Kama continued to grow in strength. However, despite all those feats, Madara would put Boruto in the ground. Yes, with Kama, Boruto can absorb any of Madara's ninjutsu, but in taijutsu alone, Boruto would be outclassed. Plus, Madara can't be harmed by normal ninjutsu. Only senjutsu works, making that
That's not true.
Rasengan pretty useless. Also, Boruto would be at a disadvantage trying to ensure Momoshiki doesn't take over, giving Madara a pretty easy W and giving him more time to search for Hashirama.
And the very reason that is not true is because Sasuke's jutsu were capable of damaging Madara. And Sasuke doesn't have senjutsu at that point in time. So, yeah, that's not necessarily true. Although you could argue Sasuke is just a special case because he technically has Hagoromo power in the Rinnegan. But if you want to pull that card, then Boruto would also have that same benefit, being that he has the Karma, which isn't conventional jutsu, and he has Momoshiki inside of him, which would grant him Otsutsuki powers. By that definition, a version of Six Paths type powers.
Oh, I'm so sorry to say this, but Kawaki is going to the place he apparently sent the 7th Hokage. Although powerful in his own right, being quote-unquote blessed with the power of Ishiki Otsutsuki, he's just way too inexperienced to deal with Madara in any form.
Okay, we're gonna talk about the two forms. Current? Sure, why not?
Kawaki specializes in close.
But being that they use the term, and this could just be them talking shit or trying to make Madara sound cool, because they definitely ratted Madara's dick not hard in this video. But now if we're talking about the one that fought Boruto in the beginning of the series, like post time skip Kawaki, then there's no way to know. But if Kawaki sent Naruto to somewhere after defeating him in combat, then no, Madara doesn't stand a chance against Kawaki.
Ranged hand-to-hand combat, utilizing his body modifications to transform his right arm into weapons. However, when you can take on the entirety of the 4th Division alone, I don't think body modifications are going to save him. Plus, as a shinobi, Kawaki is just getting started. He just learned how to use shadow.
Okay, that's fine and dandy and all. Like I want to debunk a few points. Like I'm telling you, this list is fucking terrible. But okay, so yeah, he's just learning to do shadow clone. That's fine and all. But when you look at some of the most powerful shinobi in history, they either know the shadow clone or, as far as we know, don't know the shadow clone, but never use them. For example, the Raikage, 4th and 3rd, they were hailed as some of the most powerful ninjas, but they never used cloning techniques, ever. Minato, one of the most badass ninja, and yet he rarely uses shadow clones, and even then, he's not all that proficient with the jutsu, at least not like Naruto. Madara, he knows the shadow clone and the wood clone jutsu, but rarely ever uses it. In fact, he really only uses clones, like when he's toying with his opponents. Sasuke, he knows the shadow clone jutsu. And yet he never, and I repeat, he never uses the Shadow Clone Jutsu in actual combat. Rather, he's fighting serious or holding back. So it's like, just because he doesn't know the Shadow Clone or doesn't use it or isn't very proficient in it, doesn't really factor in much. Nor does it really like determine whether he's a super badass powerful shinobi or not. Because at the end of the day, the usage of shadow clones is very heavily reliant on your chakra and the pre-existing strength. It just complements it. Also, Kawaki would literally shit on every ninja that was in the 4th division. That including the KCM Naruto shadow clone. I mean, you could argue Onoki might kill him if he doesn't get blitzed. Also, no, you couldn't, because he can just absorb particle style with the karma. Yeah, they're fucked.
Jutsu for crying out loud. Maybe with more time, training, and his Kama back, Kawaki could stand a better chance, but with what we know right now, sorry kid, you probably should have just stayed in the container you came in. Oh, I hate this fight. Hate this fight. One thing to know about Madara is that he loves a good fight. He craves it and loves to test his own abilities. Against Sarada Uchiha, Madara is going to take his sweet time. At the clan, in Sarada's case, she's doing a pretty great job. She's unlocked the 3 Tomoe, but it's only as long as Madara allows it. In the end, any injury, regenerate lost limbs, can stretch and contort his arms similar to his father, and more. He's extremely skilled in taijutsu, which we know Madara loves. He likely has experience and more. After watching Konohamaru defeat Pain's Naraka series, it's not really his fault though. Let me say first that Konohamaru is strong in his own right, continuing to grow at a very rapid rate. The problem is, this isn't his show. Unlike Kakashi, Konohamaru hasn't gotten
That's irrelevant.
the love he deserves, meaning he still has some time to go before being able to of a shinobi who should not be taken forward. She's hailed as one.
Tsunade is a weird one. Because in Boruto, she still does have her 100 healings active. Which means, since the war, she's been building up chakra and whatnot for, like, the past, 13, 15 or 16 so years since the war. Which would make her really a lot stronger and faster than she probably was in the war, being that she used up a lot of her 100 healings chakra, pretty much all of it, in the pain assault, which happened like literally a week or so prior, probably not even. But she has no feats to really place her that high.
The greatest, if not against Madara, that's if Madara would be in their place. A common misconception in Boruto is that Kakashi Hatake is no longer the man he used to be. Same level, if not strong. Lightning far surpasses Lightning Blade, as Kakashi won't wait in the comments. And 2, can we please show Sakura some love? At the time.
Okay, Sakura. No, I'm giving. I'm taking that one off. Sakura would beat Madara. I've debated enough people on it, and I've seen plenty of debates and arguments for it. So this one I'm gonna just skip.
Boruto. I mean, did you see her fight with Shin? Prodigy for years. Some good blows in. Enough is his own, unlike in part 1 where he had Shukaku. His defense is famed to be absolute, as his send will automatically.
Okay. No, Gara shouldn't be on this list. Gara would. He'd speed blitz and crush. He would speed blitz and seal Madara so fucking fast. It's ridiculous. Like, it wouldn't even be a close fight. Like, bro, no. We're talking about the same nigga who is fast enough and strong enough to restrain fused Momoshiki. The same nigga that was keeping up with Sasuke, even though they were fatigued. Still, Sasuke and Naruto, when these same characters, who's which would place which Momoshiki is stronger than Kaguya, which would place the fatigued Naruto and Sasuke relative, if not above Kaguya. Which a suppressed Kaguya is stated to be far above Madara. So Gaara-san would literally just speed blitz restrain and then seal Madara. And he wouldn't be able to do anything. So, I
Didn't end well for him. Better luck next time. Now, before I say anything, let me just say that Darui is an amazing shinobi, and it his own. However, up against Ten Tails Mox fight without breaking a sweat. Swordsman of the Mist, subdue can he stand up to? He dropped all 5 of them immediately and moved on. In Chojiro's case, I don't think Madara needs his Ten Tails ability to remember the moment Kurotsuchi put Kinshiki on blast with just a punch. It was strong enough to send him crashing through the God Tree. Also, we gotta say, when you go back and watch the fight, besides Sasuke, she's doing most of the work sealing Kinshiki with her lava-style Ash Stones. Madara went all out and used all of his abilities. With that on another level. If Madara came back, we all know for sure Sasuke would be on his tail before Naruto could even get away from his paperwork. We haven't talked about it yet because it would end every fight, but Sasuke can counter the infinite Tsukuyomi, meaning these two can go all out. Also, we'll give Sasuke the Rinnegan to give him a fair chance. He as a whole.
I think Sasuke, even current Sasuke without the Rinnegan, would still work Madara. But there's no way to prove one way or the other. But if we're talking about Sasuke with the Rinnegan, then Madara stands no chance.
Has only grown since his time in Shippuden. His use of Ameno Tejikara has only improved, giving birth to new on-the-fly strategies and combinations with his Chidori and mastery of Taijutsu. However, despite his growth, I don't believe he can take Madara on his own. In Shippuden, it took both Naruto and Sasuke to deal with his Limbo clones and catastrophic planetary devastation. Madara could not be defeated. He needed to be sealed, so without Naruto, to his Baryon mode transformation.
Okay, no, that was retarded.
In comparison to Sasuke, Naruto has a bit of a better chance to defeat Madara if this battle goes down when he still has Kurama. This is due to his Baryon mode transformation.
No. They didn't say that. I didn't hear that. They did not just tell me that Naruto can only beat 6 past Madara if he uses Baryon mode.
In Baryon mode, Naruto's speed, reflexes, and power increased to a point that shocked Ishiki. We could even say that in this form, Naruto surpassed Ishiki. Also, due to the nature of this transformation, any contact with an opponent will drain said opponent's life force, meaning Madara would be in some trouble. Now, in Madara's case, we have to admit he's one of the best strategists out there. He figured out the mechanics of Sasuke's Ameno Tejikara after only seeing it twice. If he figures out what's going on here, this battle will become one of who outlasts who. With Madara's Limbo clones there to stall, while Madara may come close to...
No, Madara's Limbo clones can't stall because they're not fast enough. We already seen Naruto just be able to dodge them. So in a battle of trying to outlast, Naruto has way more chakra. And his speed, reflexes, and attack potency is just way too much for Madara to handle. And then he would still Wait, actually, no. Would he still? I think he still does have access to his six paths abilities. Regardless of that or not, he still has the Kurama abilities, which means he can still sense and detect the limbo clones, which means that he can dodge them just fine. And even if you take that away and say he can't, for whatever reason, he's just so strong and so fast, the limbo clones wouldn't be able to keep up. And if they do hit him when he's not moving, he just tank it because he's too fucking strong. But we don't need Baryon mode. I'm pretty sure base Naruto by himself would give Madara a good run. And just regular Sage mode would body him. We don't even need to throw six paths in the six paths chakra mode.
Losing, Kurama will give out first, leaving Naruto to fall.
No.
In comparison to Jiraiya-sensei, his clone Koji Kashin has been perfected in any and all areas deemed a weakness. He can use Sage Mode in perfect balance and has the ability to summon toads. Using a kunai, he can summon the true fire of Samadhi, inextinguishable flames that burn so quickly that regenerative abilities fail to keep up with its damage. In the manga, Koji defeated Ishiki's vessel Jigen and held his own against Ishiki. So, he should be able to keep up with Madara, right? Well, yes, but also no. When Kashin fought Jigen, Jigen was at the end of his rope, which was the plan in the first place. End Jigen's life while he's down and force Ishiki's resurrection. However, Koji did not have the power to defeat Ishiki, so while he may hold his own against Madara, there's only really so much he can do before it's over. Momoshiki Otsutsuki versus Madara Uchiha. I'm gonna come right out and say it. Momoshiki doesn't have a chance, and it's due to Momoshiki's name.
Okay, I want to hear this one. That's right.
He is lazy. He doesn't train. He doesn't like to put in effort. For Kinshiki's absorption may stand in his way. Catalog of jutsu to use. To Momoshiki, Kinshiki Otsutsuki is a mere stepping stone. The problem here is that powerful. Again, this would be something strong enough to go one-on-one. Kinshiki won't be able to see. For one, he is strong. He was able to tank any and all of Team 7's attack. Plus, he was obliterated by Boroshiki, Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body. This should mean Madara wins hands down. However, differently. However, if Madara plays it smart, keeps his distance, and uses Madara, and that's because she was able to hold her own one-on-one with Naruto.
Did he literally just say Delta has the best chance at beating Madara out of everybody on this list? She isn't even the strongest or most versatile, or even deadliest character on this list. She's not the strongest, she's not the fastest, she's not the most hacks, and she's not the deadliest. And she really wasn't holding her own with Naruto all that much at all. And because Naruto at no point in the fight, until like the ending where he just overpowered her with chakra, he didn't take her serious in the fight. He was just trying to extract information.
If we're being honest, she almost defeated Naruto in his six-path Sage Mode form. Her destructive eye beam was powerful enough to force Naruto to dodge at all costs.
Yes, because they neg regen. Genius.
Opened him up to more attacks. If she didn't attack Himawari and stayed focused on the task at hand, she may have defeated Lord.
No, she wouldn't. And that's exactly why she attacked Himawari. Try to catch Naruto off guard. She was trying to exploit any opportunity she could.
7th. However, she's super impatient, which would be her downfall against Madara too. Naruto turned her own chakra absorption against her by forcing her to overload. This would definitely be something Madara would notice too, and out of all the possible ways he could defeat her, turning her against herself is so in Madara's nature. Now the big question of the day. Could Madara defeat Ishiki? No. Here's what we know. Ishiki is a beast who made Naruto and Sasuke look like Genin when he was still using Jigen as a vessel. His Rinnegan abilities, Sakuna Hikona and Daikokuten are god tier. In his resurrected state, while yes, his life force was drained, he still outlasted Baryon Mode Naruto. So, in the case of fighting Madara, he would definitely hold his own, but I don't believe he would win. Limbo is the perfect counter to Ishiki's use of black rods, and while Ishiki's chakra
No,
may
it's
be
not.
stronger than Madara's, Madara has shown more feats in combat and intelligence. Also,
No. I mean, intelligence, sure. More feats in combat? No. No, not at all.
in his current state, Ishiki isn't at 100%, as Jigen's body was never the perfect vessel. At the end of the day, Madara would outlast Ishiki's remaining lifespan and take the win. We have one.
Yeah, so, like I said, that list was utter shit. Like, if I had to rate it, I was at 1 out of 10. Hell, I take it back. That's a 0 out of 10.